Euless police arrested a couple on a long list of charges, including aggravated assault against a police officer.
Police say the couple led officers on a dangerous high-speed chase through 3 different cities. Dash camera footage provided only to Fox 4 News shows last night's chase. At one point, an officer can be heard saying gunshots had been fired from the car. Police employed stop sticks and sparks flew from the escaping vehicle. Eventually, it came to a stop, and not before backing into a police cruiser. Fox 4's David Santendry is in Euless tonight with more. David.
Yeah, Euless PD says that suspect driver threw the gun out the window after shooting at an officer. However, investigators were able to locate that gun, and they say that it matches shell casings found inside that suspect vehicle.
43 if you could go to Malero, and 13 if you go to Mallory.
39-year-old Mickey Greason is taken into Euless police custody after allegedly shooting at an officer during a 25-minute high-speed chase Wednesday evening.
Eventually, he threw the weapon out. We didn't know it at the time that we stopped him. We did recover that weapon.
At 10:44 at night, the driver of a silver Chevy Impala is suspected of DWI, but does not stop for an officer. Instead, the Impala takes off toward the Bush Turnpike. About 4 minutes in, you cannot see or hear the shooting, but you can hear the officer relaying a message that the driver is shooting. About 18 minutes in, Grand Prairie Police assist by dropping spikes. Less than a minute later, you can see a tire falling apart.
Rubber just went from the tire.
Then sparks fly from the Impala as it speeds through an intersection. A few minutes later, more sparks and smoke as the Impala drives toward residential neighborhoods. Eventually, the driver stops and gets out of the car.
Let me see your head! Lay on the
But it appears the Impala was not in park. It rolls back and hits the police car.
Put your hands on! Hang on!
A female passenger gets on the ground. Officers arrest them. No one was reported hurt during the chase.
Every officer involved did exactly what they were trained to do. They took the necessary precautions once they saw that the subject was firing his weapon.
Mickey Greason and Chaya Greason face several charges, including aggravated assault against a public servant. A record search reveals Mickey Greason had an active arrest warrant related to a DWI charge in Tarrant County. You can hear Mickey Greason through dash camera audio deny shooting at an officer.
Did you just shoot at the police? No. Hey man, I'm shooting the police. Man, shooting the police.
He continues to scream at officers from the patrol car.
Please open the door.
What's up?
Please open the door.
What do you need?
Please roll down the window.
I'm gonna get you some air
Dude,
going
I
back
need
here.
some air, dude. I'm about to freak out, man.
Yeah, I got some air coming
Come
for
on,
you.
man.
I got some air coming.
Hey.
Additional charges against the Greasons include evading arrest and possession of a controlled substance. Mickey Greason has some additional charges. He's also charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon and tampering with physical evidence. Now, if you want to watch all of that dash camera footage, we have posted it in its entirety over on our website for you to check out. That website again, fox4news.com. Steve, Heather, back to y'all.
All right, David, thank you. A dispute between 2 men over a woman led to a mass shooting in Fort Worth that injured 5 children.
Police arrested 5 suspects. All of them are accused of participating in the drive-by shooting. Fox 4's Dion Anglin is in Fort Worth right now. Dion.
Hi there, Steve. We have seen a community effort today to help the victims' families recover, and that, as you mentioned, has more details are revealed about the suspects and the investigation.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
A mini food giveaway and help with other resources. The Friday buzz of activity is part of an overall recovery effort at the Miramar Apartments.
No kid should be shot, and they had a bullet for every one of us that day.
After a drive-by shooting here injured 6 people, including several children, earlier this month. Police say 5 suspects are now charged for their involvement in the spray of gunfire that came from a red Kia Soul seen driving past the complex. Drusilla Rodriguez's daughter and son were among the most severely injured. Marquita Devereaux had 4 children outside and 1 inside.
As far as my 3-year-old, it's going to be a long recovery process with her. My 6-year-old, he's having to do physical therapy to be able to get that leg back working. And one bullet went behind my daughter that was on the inside. Wow. Yeah, it went behind her. She ran in the kitchen. And then my son was grazed outside.
The license plate on the red vehicle was captured by a surveillance camera, creating a trail to the suspects. According to court documents, investigators say a dispute between one of the suspects and another man over a woman led to the violence. The charges range from aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury to deadly conduct.
Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that they caught them, but it's the charges for me. It's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. It doesn't fit the crime. I could have been without 2 children.
Meantime, a community network focuses on getting help where help is needed.
We're able to kind of fill the gap and help meet needs so they can focus on other things like getting well.
We've been close since before this happened, but even now that it's happened, like, we make sure that we keep in communication with each other.
Now, another step in the recovery, as far as the parents that we spoke to today, they are hoping, with the help of community partners, to be reunited with the first responders who helped them that day. That's the very latest live. Steve, back to you.
Okay, Dion England in Fort Worth. Dion, thanks.
Fort Worth police say dash camera footage inside a rideshare driver's vehicle showed his murder. The man accused of the murder has a long rap sheet. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live in Fort Worth with the story. Peyton.
Heather, in an arrest affidavit that we obtained today, it mentions a woman who was driving by and witnessed this murder. I spoke with her on the phone today. She tells me she pulled over and held the victim, who had been shot multiple times, until first responders arrived. In fact, her description helped detectives capture the suspect.
Thursday, flowers next to a mangled fence marked the spot where Lyft driver Shawali Sherali was killed. Meanwhile, 35-year-old Michael Walker sits in the Tarrant County jail facing a capital murder charge. Fort Worth police say dash camera video captured Walker opening fire on Sherali in the middle of the day and stealing his vehicle. According to an arrest warrant affidavit Fox 4 obtained on Thursday, Lyft records reveal Sherali picked up a passenger off Knox Street in Fort Worth May 17th around 11:20 a.m. 15 minutes later, officers responded to an apartment complex near Sandy Lane and Brentwood Stair Road. A woman passing by told police a silver Camry crashed into a fence. Then she saw a tall man, later identified as Walker, pull an injured person out of the driver's seat and get into the vehicle. Investigators found the Camry abandoned in the back of the apartment parking lot. In the dash camera video, detectives saw a man with distinct underwear and a hairstyle with side buns pull out a pistol in the back seat and shoot Sherali multiple times from behind. Police say the same man then ditched the vehicle before saying, quote, "I had to put a little air in it, bro. Go get the body." On May 18th, an officer spotted Walker urinating and holding a beer bottle in East Fort Worth and arrested him. Walker has been in and out of jail for the last decade, both in Harris County and Tarrant County, for charges including assault of a peace officer, assault of a family member, and drug possession.
People like that, they should just stay behind bars forever. They don't deserve to go outside and kill another innocent person.
Thursday, we spoke to Sherali's older brother through a translator following the new details about the arrest. The two brothers and their families moved to North Texas from Afghanistan in 2021 to escape the Taliban.
When you're coming from a country like Afghanistan and thinking that you're going to go to America, you'll be safe in a safer country where you're going to have a good future for yourself, for your family and everyone, and then you face a situation like this.
Police say in the arrest affidavit that they found blood on Walker's pants when they took him into custody. They also found a handgun on him that matched the caliber of the gun they say was used in the murder. Heather?
Peyton, thank you.
It's just such a quiet place. Police are investigating a weekend shooting after dozens of shots jolted sleeping neighbors. Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. No one was home when someone fired into a home which is for sale. Today we spoke to the owner of that home, a doctor who no longer lives there. Fox 4's Lori Brown live in Richardson. Lori.
Clarice, the shooting happened here on Melrose Drive, not far from where I used to live, and I can tell you it is completely out of character for this area.
The kids use Melrose to run from school when school is in session. You can see the kids running, you know, the track team or whatever running down the street.
Last thing I thought was gunshots.
A mother of 21-month-old twins told us she thought the sound of gunshots at 3 a.m. Saturday was some kind of equipment malfunctioning.
It's just such a quiet place.
Surveillance video captured both the sound and heat from the rapid gunfire.
So great response time from Richardson police.
A police officer told a neighbor that they found 80 shell casings around the apparent target, a home in the 800 block of Melrose Drive. Fortunately, no one was inside. Monday, I spoke with the homeowner, who is a medical doctor. He and his wife returned to live there last summer after he worked as a medical missionary in Kenya, Peru, and Costa Rica. Last month, they moved out to be closer to his wife's work and listed the home for sale. He accepted an offer on the home Friday. Then the shooting happened and the buyer backed out. The owner told me over the phone, if we'd been living there, that would have been terrible. I'm sure someone would have been injured. We're in shock. We don't understand it at all. I wish I could tell you why it happened or who had done it. He added, I never, ever felt at risk in that neighborhood, ever. I'm really sorry it happened. I feel terrible for my old neighbors. One of the bullets went across the alley through a neighbor's fence. Neighbors hope police capture the shooter.
A lot of people just want to know why. When bad things happen, you just want to say A plus B equals C, and you just can't understand why it happened.
My hope and desire would be that, you know, that is pursued and that justice is taken.
The Richardson Police Department has not made any arrests in the case. If you have any information that could help, please ask that you call them. Clarice.
Lori, thank you. A North Texas track and field coach has been arrested, accused of exchanging sexually related texts with a teenager. Police say the texts were discovered by the girl's father. Fox 4's Dan Anglin joins us with more on the police investigation. Dion.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, Balch Springs investigators say it is a disturbing exchange of inappropriate content between a 54-year-old coach and a teen girl, a student athlete who has been working with that coach since she was about 8 years old. A DeSoto AAU track and field coach, 54-year-old Anthony Adkison, is charged with online solicitation of a minor. Balch Springs police investigators tell Fox 4 the disturbing case was exposed when Adkison sent a late-night text to the victim, a 16-year-old girl. That teenager's father was in control of her phone. He responded, pretending to be his teen daughter. Police say some very disturbing findings in that cell phone are what followed.
This startled the dad, was very upset, and brought it to our attention.
A news release on Adkison's arrest states Adkison was asking for video recordings involving sexual acts from his daughter in exchange for money. The parent also discovered that Adkison had sent a sexually explicit image to his daughter.
Like he wanted her to do something and then send it to him.
Yes, that's correct.
And then he'd pay her for that.
Correct.
Adkison, who goes by Coach A, was booked into the Dallas County Jail. He is listed on the roster with the Junior Speedsters Track Club of DeSoto. Investigators say Adkison has coached the 16-year-old girl since she was about 8 years old. Counselors are continuing forensic interviews with her as she receives ongoing care. Adkison's history is now a major focus for investigators.
Anthony Atkins has been a coach for about 30 years. And that is a very long time. And I understand that there may be older individuals who have been under the guidance and under the coach of Coach A. And so we're trying to see if there's any other victims out there.
Police want any more potential victims or parents of victims to know the length of time passed does not matter.
It doesn't matter how long it's been. Contact your local agency, notify them.
Now, again, Adkison is charged with online solicitation of a minor, and the investigation is ongoing. He is jailed with a bond set at $25,000. That's the very latest live. Clarice, back to you.
Dion, thank you.